In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 MLB games happening on August 16, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Milwaukee Brewers versus Cincinnati Reds. The Cincinnati Reds welcome the Milwaukee Brewers to Great American Ballpark on Saturday for the second game of their series. Right now, the Brewers are simply on a roll that you don't try to stand in front of. They haven't dropped a game since the end of July, and until that streak breaks, the move has been to just back them and keep cashing tickets. They've also managed to keep winning with Priester on the hill since late May, and even though Littell has looked capable this season, that doesn't really weigh much against Milwaukee's current form. With a streak this hot, stepping aside seems like the only real option. As our first pick for this matchup, the Milwaukee Brewers money line is our full game side pick. Looking toward the total, it makes sense to see this as the type of game where pitching and defense lead the story. Both of these starters have turned in solid outings against their respective opponents in the past, which could temper the bats after what turned into a shootout yesterday. Cincinnati has been seeing plenty of low-scoring games, with their record showing 72-44 toward the under this season. On the other side, Milwaukee's lineup has been buzzing and piling up runs, but that eventually balances out. The Reds, for their part, have been staggered at the plate lately, putting up 2 runs or fewer in 5 of their last 9 games. All signs point to a tighter, lower-scoring matchup this time around. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Atlanta Braves versus Cleveland Guardians. The Atlanta Braves and Cleveland Guardians square off on Saturday at Progressive Field in the middle game of this interleague series. The Braves started things off on a high note with a 2-0 win Friday night, powered by Waldrop's 6 scoreless innings that dropped his earned run average down near the 1 mark and earned him his 3rd victory. Atlanta has now built a little momentum, ripping off 3 straight wins and 6 of its last 7 overall. On the road, they've also done well recently, collecting 4 wins in their last 5 away contests. Still, when it comes to interleague play, this team has struggled all season, carrying just a 13-21 record in those games and 24-38 overall away from home. Cleveland dropped to an even record on its current homestand after that loss, sitting at 2-2, but they've been strong in interleague matchups of late, with a 7-2 run in their last 9. The Guardians hand the ball to Ciccone, who's been steady at home with back-to-back quality starts his last 2 outings in this ballpark, and he hasn't suffered a loss in 5 straight decisions at Progressive Field. That makes this a good spot for Cleveland to bounce back, and even the series. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cleveland Guardians money line is our full game side pick. Looking at the total, neither starting pitcher inspires much faith right now, meaning runs should be on the board. Wentz gets the start for Atlanta, and his ERA north of 5 tells the story of how hard the transition from reliever to starter has been. He's used to shorter appearances, and the results haven't been strong when stretched out. On Cleveland's side, Ciccone has surrendered at least 2 earned runs in 5 straight outings, showing vulnerability as well. With both arms shaky, this shapes up as a matchup where the bats will do damage and push the scoreline higher. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Baltimore Orioles versus Houston Astros. The Baltimore Orioles will try to make some noise in the American League East when they continue their weekend set against the Houston Astros on Saturday night at Dakin Park. Baltimore got a boost on Friday with an unexpected gem from Brandon Young, nearly perfect against Houston, but that doesn't feel like something you bank on repeating. This still lines up as a tough matchup for the Orioles against a right-hander in Alexander, who has been sharp in some of his recent outings. Even though Baltimore can look dangerous on paper, their production against right-handed pitching has been spotty, and Friday's win felt more opportunistic than trend-shifting. Houston seems primed for a bounce-back performance to even things up. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Astros money line is our full game side pick. Looking at the numbers, neither lineup has been piling up runs with much consistency. Baltimore is averaging just 4.24 runs on the season and only 2 per game in their past 3 contests. They're batting .243 when matched up against right-handed arms, and they now face a starter who has given up only 2 runs total in his last 3 starts. For Houston, the bats are a bit steadier, averaging 4.34 runs overall and 4 runs across their last 3 games, with a .264 mark versus lefties. Even so, they're squaring off against someone who has allowed 5 runs across his last 3 appearances, which still leans toward scoring being contained. Taken together, the setup points to a game that grinds along without enough offensive spark to push past the number. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago White Sox versus Kansas City Royals. The Chicago White Sox and Kansas City Royals clash in Game 2 of their series on Saturday night at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. It's not easy to trust the Royals at a heavy price tag behind Michael Lorenzen, especially given that Kansas City has had its share of up-and-down stretches this year. The White Sox have obviously been stuck in a rut most of the season and remain one of the league's weakest teams, but from a betting angle, there seems to be a little value on their side with the line, considering how inconsistent the Royals can be themselves. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago White Sox to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. When it comes to pitching versus hitting, Kansas City's edge is clear on the mound. The Royals enter this contest ranked 4th in team earned run average and 11th in WHIP, a sharp contrast to an offense that sits near the bottom of the league at 28th in runs. Chicago isn't much better as they're only 1 place higher in scoring at 27th, and they're dragging at the plate overall, ranking 2nd to last in slugging percentage and dead last in batting average. These two teams have mixed it up plenty over the years, and the results have leaned toward quiet scoreboards. 14 of the last 19 meetings have gone under, with weak, unsteady lineups on both sides and a lack of reliable offensive firepower. Another low-scoring game feels like the most likely outcome here. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Detroit Tigers versus Minnesota Twins. The Detroit Tigers and Minnesota Twins meet on Saturday evening at Target Field for Game 3 of their 4-game American League Central Series. Minnesota has been in a funk lately, and Matthews doesn't look like the guy to snap them out of it. He's been leaky with a 5.11 earned run average and a 1.36 WHIP on the year, giving up 14 runs across his last 25 innings. That's not the type of arm you want to back against a team in better form. On the other side, Mize has earned his All-Star tag, putting up a 3.5 earned run average and a 1.27 WHIP, and he also has the hotter, steadier lineup supporting him. It's just too hard to make a case for the Twins in their current skid. As our first pick for this matchup, the Detroit Tigers money line is our full game side pick. Looking deeper into recent outings, both starters have shown some cracks when stretched out over the past few weeks. Mize has gone 4-2 but with a 4.86 earned run average and 1.35 WHIP over his last 33.1 innings, while Matthews comes in at 3-3 with a 4.62 earned run average and 1.24 WHIP in his last 37 frames. Neither bullpen has been particularly sharp this season either. Detroit slots in at 18th with a 4.11 earned run average, and Minnesota even worse at 24th with a 4.33 earned run average. The combination of shaky starters and unreliable relief arms sets this one up to feature more than a few runs. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.